So, I'm notorious for purging, but every time I come home after being gone for a long time, I look at my place and realize the things I'm dissatisfied about. That inspires additional purging. And although when I purge, I do a pretty good job, there are things I'm realizing that I have continued to keep that are just a weight. They're just, you know, that thing that I keep at the back of my mind that I know that I can go through again, and it might bring me back into a place that I don't want to be. One of those things is that box of memories that I feel like everybody at least has at some point in their life. The memories that they've kept from old partners, loved ones, things that were important at a time but might at a later date just bring pain. And this is mine. This is a box that I received as part of the first play that I ever was in, Shakespeare, Macbeth. I was Murderer 2, Witch 2, and Soldier. And this has been with me as my box of memories for years, because at the time I was going through the first ever heartbreak that I'd been through. It just became that box. And for years, I have continued to add things into it. I used to write a lot about my feelings, and I used to, every now and then, think, yes, I will go back and read the old things that I went through, the sadness, the heartbreak, the depression, all of that, and I'll be inspired to see how far I've come. But as the years have gone on, I realized that that's not the case. Instead, it just kind of brings me back to those moments where I remember the failings that I've had, or I think about how long it took me to come to a conclusion about something that I'm now at, and it is painful. And same thing with old notes, little things that were given to me from old boyfriends and stuff that no longer matters, because I know I'm not going to go back to those people. I don't want to. I've moved on, and even if some of them are still in my life, you know, that point in my life has passed. And so I had a whole bunch of notebooks in there. Notebooks that had bits and pieces of snippets of writing. Just a pile of notebooks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I know that these are 6 notebooks out of many more that I've already purged with old notes from classes that made me hurt to look at. And I literally went through this group of notebooks that had all of this writing of mine, and I ripped out the pages. Pages upon pages upon pages. And not only that, but my first ever notebook that I kind of customized, that has this piece of art that I drew years ago. I'm still deciding whether or not I want to keep it, but the pages from that are here. I just ripped them all out. They were falling out anyways. This was at one point in time essentially my diary, and I just gutted it. And like I said, I'm still trying to decide whether or not I want to keep this. But the thing is, these thoughts, these feelings, they're from a person that is no longer the same as who I am now. They only serve a negative purpose in my life. And it doesn't make sense to hold on to that, at least for me where I'm at right now. And I know I am one person. Not every single person is going to feel this about the previous stuff that they've been through or written about or any of that sort of thing. But for me, I don't know what it is. I've just come to the conclusion that I don't need it. I've always struggled with the idea of writing a diary. And I have a place where I do write my thoughts when they come to me that I would have to scroll through, because it's online. It's on my computer at least. I'd have to scroll through it. And I think the point of this is that this stuff is important to write down. All of these thoughts and feelings help me work through whatever was going on at the time or here. However, honestly, in many ways, it might be better to essentially burn those pages after they've been written. It can be helpful to look back to see where you were. But a lot of what I have is not that. It's not the inspiring stuff. It's the pain. And it's gone now. I have coping mechanisms. I have friends. I have loved ones. I have expertise and knowledge and wisdom that I did not at that point in my life have. And I think the only way to move forward is to truly move forward. So instead, I'm keeping the other things. I'm keeping the invitation to, or not an invitation, the, information from a wedding of a good friend. And like the little page of Harry Potter that she put the flower petals in that we all threw up at one time. I have this from when I got screeched in Newfoundland with my dad on a hike. The only thing where it has my thoughts is this old agenda from my final year in high school, where I just put in so many memories, and they were all good memories, inside jokes, things like that. I've got a map from a trip that I took with my friends. And I mean, that's all I need, the happy stuff, the things that are relevant now that I don't want to forget. This little memories from Bicoline, my first year at Bicoline, which at this point in my life has been the most important event that I've been through. So yeah, it feels good to be able to move on and to push forward and to let go of the unnecessary stuff. And I know that it might take a while, but I'll breathe easy. Because also, a box this size takes up fucking room in a small apartment. Anyway, think about the things that you need in your life. I am turning 31 in a week. I would not have thought that I'd be getting rid of this stuff. But I also knew that I didn't want to read it, so what was the point of keeping it? It just makes me sad. And I hope that wherever you're at in your life, you can come to a similar conclusion. You can let go of the things that you don't need, don't want, and that don't lift you up. So, hope you're good.